Yay Networks.
13 has been my lucky number for a while. Like, it's always a sign of good things to come for me.
This is 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast, breaking down every song, every Easter egg, every era, and every theory. Hosted by the biggest Swifties, Nick Adams, Anna Casillejos, Amy Nichols, and Lacey G.
All right. I believe we're good. Okay. Well, Alecksis, before we get started, thank you so much, by the way, for taking the time to do this. We adore you. Like, I adore your content, your social media, like you as a person. I'm such a big fan of yours. I have wanted to get you on this podcast for forever. And then when I saw that you were going to the Speak Now show, I was like, wait, this is like the perfect opportunity to have you on, like, just in general. So I'm super excited. I'm like low-key fangirling.
I'm super excited. I was telling Ashley and all of them this weekend, I'm like, I'm going on 13 podcasts on Monday. I'm like freaking out. I was very excited.
Oh my God. Yeah, we're so excited. So I'm Anna and this is Amy.
Hi.
Like I said, there's usually four of us, but it was a bit of a chaotic Monday. So it's just the three of us girlies chatting today. But I will go ahead and I guess just like introduce you, give you a little intro, and then we'll just get into it. Hi, welcome to 13. I'm Anna.
Amy.
And today we have such a special guest on the podcast, someone that I have been following on social media for what feels like forever. And I'm so excited to have her on today to just talk about all things Taylor Swift, all things Speak Now, all things Eras Tour. Please welcome to the podcast, Alecksis, also known as Those 89 Curls, formerly, I guess. But now, what's your new screen name? Point MP3.
Yeah, 1989.mp3 is the new one.
So is it safe to say that 1989 is your favorite album?
A little, yeah.
I was looking at your nails and I'm like, they might be reading 1989.
Yeah.
Oh my
Love
God.
it.
Yeah, my friend did them for the concert Saturday. So for night 2, I did 1989, and she did my nails for them, and they're super cute.
They're so cute, so cute, and I love that you're wearing your Eras Tour T-shirt right now, and I see your bingo board in the background because I keep up with all of the bingo for the surprise songs. Alecksis, I just adore you on social media. Your content, every single time you show up on my feed, I get so happy. You are such a bright light on social media, and I love you being such unapologetically yourself. So thank you for that. But before we get into arguably the best weekend of the Eras Tour of all time, we want to know, for anybody that's listening that is just getting to know you, tell us about you as a Swiftie, your Swiftie journey. What drew you to Taylor? What's your favorite song? Just anything.
Okay, so it's been a hot second. First of all, I'm Alecksis. I have been on Swiftie social media since 2011, 2012. And I became a Swiftie because of my family, actually. My Thea was very into country music and was a huge Taylor Swift fan. And so she showed me our song, and I instantly fell in love. And then my mom got me Speak Now tour tickets in 2011.
Wow.
And so that was my first Taylor show, and I haven't missed a tour since. So it runs in the family. I am a product of them. My mom listened to country music all throughout my childhood too. So that helped. That helped a lot. So that's how I started. And in middle school, I started my fan page. I think my first username on Instagram was like Swiftie Girl 13.
I love that.
Morphed into what it is now. But yeah, I've been on Swiftie social media for a hot second. And it's changed a lot through the years, good and bad. But it's very, very fun. And I love meeting everybody and talking to everybody. It's just such a fun time. I mean, like, the people in my real life don't want to hear about this 24/7. So
Right.
it's a good outlet.
I know. Well, that's why we started this podcast, because the four of us work together and we would just always talk about Taylor Swift until finally Nick, I think, was the one that was like, do you guys want to just start a Taylor Swift podcast? And we were like, yeah, why not?
We're doing it anyways, just off mic.
I know, we might as well just like record it, right? Like, if we care about what we have to say, maybe other people will also.
For sure.
Which
Dang,
is,
Nick Nick was on it.
I know. He had an idea and we went for it. So we've been doing this podcast for a little over two and a half years or 2 years. We're about 2 years.
Yeah.
But it's been so cool. So, okay. So you've been to every tour since Speak Now. What has been your absolute favorite? I mean, I know they're so hard to compare. But
They are very hard because especially after rep, like everything's so different. So I would say my favorite, well, I'm a little biased, but I would say the 1989 tour. And then my second favorite, honestly, would be probably Eras. It's so good. And then Reputation is top tier. Speak Now also was just amazing. I love when she puts on like theatrics. That's like my favorite. So Speak Now was amazing, but my favorite would probably be 1989. That was very cool. And I had pit tickets for that show.
Oh, wow.
As the Red Tour. And so those experiences were out of body amazing.
Oh, so what is it about 1989 that like you just hold so close to your heart?
So it came out my freshman year of high school. And so the angst of the album and also just like I guess like yearning and like questioning of situationships is very high school. And so it fit very well into what I was going through at the moment. And also 1989 release day was the first time I went to New York. And that day I met Taylor outside of Good Morning America.
Oh my God.
So there's many different reasons amongst like the fashion and the aesthetics of the album that I really love. There's also like some very sentimental parts of it too.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my God. It's so interesting because I feel like, I don't know, it's like I have a favorite Taylor Swift album, of course, but then like she releases another and I'm like, will this dethrone my other, you know what I mean? Like I adored Midnights, like the Midnights album, but it's like almost like it felt like too new to say that it was like a favorite, but you know, but now like whenever we talk about our favorite albums, like astrology, like I'll be like, yeah, I like to say that I'm Speak Now with like a Midnight's moon, you know?
I love that. I love that so much.
And Amy is like a folklorian to her core.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I can totally see that.
Yeah. So we kind of have, we rep all the eras on the podcast, which is great.
I love that.
Nick is our 1989 girly, but he's not here right now. So you'll have to fill in as our 1989 girl for today.
I like this.
Okay, so we have to talk about this past weekend because so you were at the show in Kansas City on 7/7, Speak Now release day. Did you already have tickets to go before you knew it was going to be Speak Now release day, or what came first?
So yes, I had tickets prior. Those were some tickets that me and my friend got during pre-sale. Okay. So it just happened to be Speak Now release day. And a fun fact, it was sad in the moment, but it's funny now. I had Nashville tickets for the day that she announced Speak Now Taylor's version. And I sold them like a month before the tour because I couldn't get enough time off of work. And so I ended up watching it on the live stream with everybody else. And it took me a quick second to realize like July 7th, like, oh, that's the day I'm seeing her in Kansas City. So I was very stoked about that happenstance. And then, so we had tickets prior for pre-sale. We got them during pre-sale.
Oh my God.
So lucky.
That must have been such like a wave of emotions when you had that realization. You're like, I'm supposed to be there. I should be there. Wait a second, but I will be at that one.
It was crazy. And at that time, like I didn't know like Taylor is all over the place all the time. So I'm like, I don't know what she's going to do. But like the fact that I was going to be with like my online Swiftie friends during that was like enough.
That's so special. Like that is so special. It is very cool how like the internet has brought so many Swifties together like that, like just making friends like from the internet because of your shared love to Taylor Swift to then hang out in real life and experience something like an album drop. Like that is so special. And people just don't get it. Like if you're not in it, like you don't get it, you know?
Yeah, Exactly. Yeah, we were on the lake yesterday, and some of the workers were, because there were like 10 of us on this boat, and we were all just like relaxing after the crazy hectic weekend. And one of the employees was like, "So you guys all know each other? Like, how long have you guys all known each other?" And we're like, "Funny story." They just don't get it. They don't understand. It's a special experience. But yeah, that was incredible.
Which is so funny because we've become pretty close friends with Michael, Life by Michael on TikTok. And we kind of became friends with him around like 2020. And then we like met in real life, which was so crazy because we would tell people, we're like, yeah, this is my Swiftie friend from the internet. And they'd be like, are you nuts? Like, no. Like, are you okay? We're like, no, it's like so normal. Like, you don't get it. You don't get it. But so going into the show on Speak Now release day, did you have any sort of
assumption?
Assumption, expectations? You're like, what's the most unhinged thing she could do? Like, was there something in the energy?
So we had a release party the night before to listen to the album when it came out. And that was all of our conversations the whole night was like, what could she do? What do we want her to do? What will she probably do? Like, we were trying to make the best educated guesses, but Taylor is freaking insane. She doesn't do anything that we can fathom. And so we were in conversation about like, okay, maybe back to December, because like that was on the day of, we saw the tweet that Taylor Lautner was there. And I was like, oh, back to December is going to be the surprise song. But he was there for a completely different reason. But the night before, we were like, maybe she'll do Better Than Revenge with the new lyric change. Like, maybe she'll release a music video. Like, we had no idea. Our ideas were all over the board. So when that actually happened, we were very shocked.
So where were you sitting? Because I saw a couple of TikToks where they're like, what are you doing with that mic? What's going on? And, like, the people in the background. Did you see any action before it was actually happening?
So we were in the lower bowl, so section 123, so in the 100s, and we were kind of off to like the left of the stage. So during Enchanted, we saw her come out, she sang Enchanted, and we were like, okay, our one hint is if she doesn't walk back to the opening of the screen. And she stayed put. And I was like, oh, it's about to get so interesting. And so she stayed put. They brought the mic to her on stage, like the guitar mic, and then we saw her get handed the koi fish guitar.
Stop! I'm crying. Like, I literally, like,
it was absolutely insane. We were losing our minds, and I thought she was gonna play Last Kiss. Like, that was the moment that I was like, because you see the koi fish guitar, you immediately think back to the Speak Now World Tour. Like, I completely thought she was going to play Last Kiss, and then she sang Long Live. And
I just got chills, like, just all down my body.
I was a mess. That was very hard to get through, but amazing. And then she brought out her band, and they all lined up in a line like how she did at the Speak Now World Tour. And she was on the lift part of the diamond, and they all lifted up, and it was amazing. And then night 2 ended up getting Long Live as well. And when she was introducing the band night 2, she said like, okay, can you please make some noise for my band of thieves? And she didn't say that night 1. And I immediately like got chills all down my body. I was like, this is insane. What is happening?
Oh my God. So do you think that she's going to keep it on the set list, or do you think it was just for the weekend?
I think it was just for the weekend, only because she kept reiterating that it was Speak Now release weekend, and that's why she was doing these certain surprise songs and the extra song on the Speak Now set.
Yeah.
But that would be amazing if she kept it on. Like, I would love to hear it later down the road. But it would also be special if she, didn't. The only thing that causes me to think that it might not be permanent is because the Country Music Hall of Fame, their replacement for taking that guitar out of the museum to give to Taylor, it had a card that said like temporary, like absence of, the guitar. So saying temporary, I assume that is going to get put back soon. But how soon? I don't know. She could surprise us and leave it on the set list, which I would love.
That is so true. And that is so special, but also so extra of her to like steal her own artifact from a museum to use like on, like, how I don't know how she can just live with herself. Like,
that is the most Taylor Swift thing that she could ever do.
and it's also cool because it's like something that it's like, okay, if you know, you know. Like, she didn't point out the guitar on stage for like, yeah, it's a very special thing, but it's like, yeah, as a fan who knows the history behind that specific guitar, you're like, wait, this is crazy. And that she was doing it, but she didn't draw attention to it. And I almost feel like that makes it more special.
I loved that about that moment, is because she didn't draw attention to the fact like that it was such a huge moment. It just inevitably was a huge moment.
Yeah.
And she didn't have to say anything. It just felt special for the people who knew.
Yeah. I wonder if she doesn't keep Long Live, I wonder if she'll add other Speak Now songs to the section though. Like not just in, but which like she could switch out, like maybe one day she'll do Haunted. Maybe one day she'll do, Speak Now, or like maybe kind of switch it out, because I mean, just riding the high of releasing the album, you can only do Speak Now surprise songs for so long, right? So
yeah,
I'm
for sure.
Curious.
I would love that. I think that would be a really good transition to like the rest of all the weekends that she has.
Yeah.
I think that would be really, really cool.
Yeah. So then Long Live was the first surprise. And then what was next? The music video?
So what happened was Long Live ended. She walked back into the same screen opening with her band. And she made a offensive look behind her, like with the guitar. It was like, as people were posting the video, and I was like, that is illegal. She shouldn't be doing that. But it was so cute, like looking back at everyone as she's walking through. Anyway, so that the Speak Now set ended, and then the surprise songs happened. And so she ended up walking to the end of the catwalk and to the piano. And I was like, why is she going to the piano? And she ends up sitting down, kind of away from the keys, and grabs the mic. And she's like, I just need to take a second. Like, I'm just too excited. And she was sitting down. And I was like, what the heck is happening? And then, so then she started saying, like, I've been working on something. I shot a music video in Liverpool. And that's when everybody like went crazy, because we all saw those like little photos of her in Liverpool from months and months ago. And so that was wild. Everyone's going crazy for that. And then she was like, I'm going to show the music video. So she showed it. She sat on stage like while it was playing, which was super cool and cute. And so everyone went crazy for the music video. I felt very weird that I didn't know all the lyrics. I'm like, what is happening? This is such a fun experience. Like, I only heard this song like once during our listening party, and now I'm watching the music video. Like, what's happening? But then after the music video, that's when she said, since we're premiering a music video, why don't we act like it's a movie premiere and have the cast actually here?
Oh.
And so she walked to the middle of the stage, and that's when she brought everybody out.
Oh my God. Which is like so special. We already, like you said, we saw the pictures a few months ago. And so we all kind of pieced it together. We're like, okay, Taylor Lautner, Joey King, and those black boots. We know that this is Speak Now related. But then seeing like in the video, like the part where Joey King looks at the costume from the Mean music video, I got emotional. Like unexpectedly. But how did you react to Taylor Lautner doing flips on stage? Because I think that has got to be one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my whole life.
So fun fact, I just got off the plane. I just got home. And when my husband picked me up from the airport, the first thing that he mentioned was Taylor Lautner's flips on stage. I was like, what? So many things happened. Why are you mentioning that? But it was an iconic moment. I didn't know what to feel or do, because I was Team Edward, okay? But after this weekend, Team Jacob. But it was very, very cool. And they did like their little speeches. I don't remember much of Joey King's. I think she just made like a joke about how sweaty she was or something. And then Taylor Lautner took the mic and went on a spiel of how much like he loves Taylor and how she's such a gracious human being and how great she is to him and his wife. And it was just like such a crazy, like out of body moment that I was like, witnessing that. It was just so strange. And Joey King ended up taking the mic after that and was like, just so you know, like during rehearsal, like he said that he was going to come out here and say like, let's go Chiefs. Like he didn't plan any of that. And so that's like so crazy and so special. It was really, really sweet.
Oh my God. I've seen that video. Well, I was watching it on like a live stream. I was like laying in bed with a live stream on my phone, my headphones in, because my now husband was also like trying to just sleep. And I just started like laughing. He was like, what are you laughing at? I was like, Taylor Lautner just did flips on stage. And he goes, that is so random. He was like, why is he there? Like, what is happening? He was like, what are you watching?
Only at a Taylor Swift concert would we see Taylor Lautner do flips on stage.
What?
I've seen the video where he's replicating what he did for her in the movie Valentine's Day.
That's so funny.
It's just like, to me, it looked like, you know how sometimes like you can be like in an awkward situation, you kind of just start like dancing.
Yes.
Like I feel like I do that. Like I'll like awkwardly like dance my way out of a situation, and I feel like he like was walking out and felt awkward and just flipped. Like, it's like
it's just so funny that that's like his instinct. Like, who would have that instinct of like, I'm just gonna flip down here.
Which is so funny. And I love how even Taylor Swift was like, yeah, sometimes I accidentally flip too.
Like, what is going on?
What? Oh my God. Okay, and so then she did 2 Speak Now surprise songs. Were you like kind of hoping for like certain songs? I was not expecting When Emma Falls in Love, like at all.
No. Yeah, me neither. Me and my friends one of my friends, when she was getting ready for the concert that night, she had on loop, I think it was Electric Touch, some of the other ones. She had them on repeat to try and memorize them before the concert, because we were convinced Fall Out Boy or Haley was like coming out. And so we were like, we got to memorize these lyrics. And so she had them on loop. And one of the songs that she did not have on loop was When Emma Falls in Love. We had no fathoming aspect of like, that was going to be the song that she was going to play. We had no clue.
And you're like, just our luck, right? You're like the one that we didn't study.
Yeah. But it was honestly really, really cool to like, after all these years, just stand there and like, not know the words and just like soak it in, instead of like screaming and dancing and like doing all of these theatrics. It was like just quiet, and it was weirdly so nice and so cool.
That's so true. I like didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Which
really
like
sweet.
it is and there's something about Taylor Swift lyrics. It's like once you hear the song a couple of times, you just know them. Like sometimes I'm like, I don't even know when I listen to the song yet I know all the words. But that is so special to hear a song that she'd released that day being performed like that. Yeah. That is so. And then what was the other one? Never Grow Up?
Never Grow Up. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Was everyone just a mess?
Everyone was a mess. My friend like had a moment with that song during our listening party. And so she's breaking down all over again. And so like everyone was, and there was like a mom and daughter behind us. It was just like so sweet. And like thinking of everyone's stories in that room too. It's like everyone listens to this song in a different way. And it was just, that's one of her most like sentimental songs on that album. So I was really, really happy she played that.
Oh my gosh. I'm just so happy you were there. Like I was watching it and I was thinking, because we obviously had plans to talk to you today anyway, but I was thinking, I was like, God, I'm so like, I felt like just knowing you were there, I was there.
I love that.
And I was like watching it on a live stream. I'm like, man, that was the best show I've ever been to. Like,
yes.
I was there.
You were there. You were.
So then when you go back for night 2, what were you thinking then? Like, were your expectations any different? Were you like, okay, it's not the album release day, but it's still like, what were you thinking going into day 2 or night 2?
So I didn't think that she was going to do Long Live again. And we knew that she was probably going to sing Last Kiss because the day after would be July 9th. Mm-hmm. But then we were also making guesses of like, okay, maybe she'll play Cornelia Street because it mentions Arrowhead and that's the name of the stadium. Or maybe she'll play Back to December because of Taylor Lautner and the new music video. Like we had all of these different guesses that none of them were correct, except for the Last Kiss one. But she ended up doing the lover speech, and she mentioned the same thing that she mentioned night one. And she was like, if you're, questioning why there's so much purple around, like it's because it's Speak Now Release weekend. And instead of like day, she said weekend. And so I was like, oh, okay, so this is a continuation. And so then she played Long Live, which again, hit the same as night one. And then for surprise song, she sang Last Kiss. And then she sang Dorothea. And I was like, this came out of like, no, did not think she was going to play Dorothea, but it was really good.
That's so funny. On our podcast every week, we have like a running game of predicting the surprise songs, and we keep score. Yeah. Amy's in the lead, I believe.
Oh, I thought you were. Oh, well, it's like
between
close,
us.
Within a point, like a half a point.
It's between us two. The other two are just chilling, But we were out of town this last weekend. We've been on vacation, so we didn't make guesses. But I did think about you, Amy. I was like, I feel like that's the most random song that Amy would have predicted. And you would have gotten it.
I'll take credit. I'll take credit for sure.
Oh my God. Yeah. Are there any surprise songs that she hasn't played yet that you're really, really still hoping for? Or what was like your top tier like surprise song? You're like, I must be in the room when she plays this song.
So she sang Clean in Arlington. I think it was Arlington, yeah. And that hurt. And then she sang it again, which hurt more. And so at this point, I don't really mind. Anything that comes my way, I will take. But there's 3 more 1989 songs on the list. And so I'm hoping she saves one for LA. But the very first night was also in my list of like, I would love to hear that. I love Starlight from Red. That one was one of the ones. But Clean was my top. I wish you would. All you got to do is stay. Wonderland. All of the ones that she's already played. So,
you're like, okay, let me just cross it off my finger. You're like, okay, yeah. It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
So are you going to another show? You said are you hoping for LA?
So I have tickets to August 5th LA and then August 7th. My Thea got me and my best friend and my husband tickets to the new LA date, which is August 7th. So that will be my husband's first Taylor Swift show.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Is he ready?
Yeah. Have you been preparing him?
I was thinking about this weekend because because I haven't gone to the Eras Tour since opening weekend. So it's been a few months. And so on night one of Kansas City, when the rep set came on, it hit different than it did opening weekend. I was like, this is so good. I need to prepare him so he can appreciate it in the correct way.
Yeah.
He needs to just there's preparation that needs to be done, but it will be done.
Yeah. It will have time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got what, like a little less than a month. Swiftie training.
Swiftie training.
That is, oh my God. That is going to be so special. That's going to be so special for you.
Excited.
I'm just like manifesting. I have done zero work of actually securing tickets, but I'm manifesting that I can go. I will be in LA that weekend, so I'm just like,
Are you really?
Yeah. I don't know if I told you. I booked a flight.
Oh my God.
Got the flight, got no tickets, but
that is the most Swiftie thing you can do is book a flight, have a hotel with no tickets.
With no tickets. And I've been telling my friends that I'm going to LA with. I was like, y'all, Taylor Swift's in town that weekend. We got to do what we got to do. And they're like, I'm like the Swiftie representative of the group. So they're like, okay, well, you can get us tickets. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I'm just going to put it in the energy. We're going to be there. I was like, we can stand outside the stadium. I don't even care.
Yeah.
We will.
Honestly, that I would love to experience standing outside the stadium. I feel like that's a different energy. There was
Absolutely.
There was a lot of people night 2 of Kansas City that were tailgating outside, and a younger boy came up to us because we were doing a little tailgate thing with hot dogs and all the things. And he came up and said that him and his whole family was tailgating outside the concert to listen. And he did it the night before too. And it's really sweet. I would love to experience it. So, but we're manifesting tickets for you. Yes. Manifestation.
We're manifesting something. I have on Twitter notifications, anything that anything that I can. I'm telling myself that maybe as it gets closer, it'll be easier, like to get like resale tickets or something.
Yeah.
But I'll at least be in the same state, and that is what matters. Oh my gosh. Well, so with Speak Now being just out right now, what are some of your favorite Speak Now songs?
Oh goodness, I love mine. That has always been my favorite Speak Now song. Story of Us hits just the same. I love that song. And I think my favorite off of the vault, I think it's When Emma Falls in Love. And Timeless. I am so tied between like all of them right now. My brain can't fathom.
I know.
I don't know if it's the sleepiness or what, but my brain like can't fathom anything right now. But Timeless and When Emma Falls in Love. I'm a hopeless romantic, so those ones.
I love it. I love it. I already used a lyric from Timeless as an Instagram caption. Like I was quick. I was like, nobody's gonna know this except the Swifties. But I love it. We do on our podcast whenever we break down an album, we do a rankings episode at the very, very beginning of our like era, and then we go through every single song, and then we do a ranking again at the end to see how they compare. And so we did our Speak Now rankings. We recorded the episode earlier today, and it was one of the hardest things I think we've ever had.
Right. It was the top 5. It was the top 5 songs, and I had 7 songs.
Yeah, Amy was like, well, tied for number 5, and tied for number 1, and tied for number 3.
Oh my God.
Just
I
like,
love that. That's what happens when Speak Now is so good. And the vault songs, I feel like I was telling my friends this weekend, is I feel like the vault songs made the album seem a little bit more like older. Like, because Speak Now in general, like she was what, like 20, 21 during that.
young.
So it's very like, you know, young, hopeless, romantic, whimsical. And like the vault songs make it seem older. And I really like that. Like that was the side that she was kind of, so it was somewhere in there. She just had to, you know, get pushed to release them. But yeah.
But like my heart broke when I heard Castles Crumbling though. Like, because I just feel like that was like somebody online said that it's like the sad little sister to Long Live. And I'm like, that's so true.
Yeah, that's it. That one was really good, and I like how Haley, like the amount that Haley had in it. I think it was really.
It was absolutely perfect. Just everything about like Taylor Swift right now is at like peak, and she's only getting better and better, which is like so nuts because just when you think she's like on top of the world, she just gets even better.
Yeah,
and then. Yeah. What are you, as a 1989 stan, what are you hoping for 1989 Taylor's version? Like, do you want to see features? Do you want to see, like, what is it that you want out of 1989 Taylor's version?
you want Harry Styles, don't you?
I don't want Harry Styles.
What? Really? Hot take.
So actually, I know it's very controversial, but that's a big thing. Like everyone wants style featuring Harry Styles, but I don't know if it's just like me and my high school brain who was like going through the same thing as her when like this album was released. But in my mind, I'm like, no, they're like exes. Like, I mean, like they're friendly and they're good, but like at that time, like it doesn't fit with the vibe of the album, you know, like it's a situationship. You don't have your situationship on the track with you.
That's true.
But I mean, like it would be iconic. I think that would break the internet, like crumble it.
Yeah.
But so I would love that. I would appreciate it. And it would be very, very full circle, which I would be a sucker for. But I'd be fine if style was left alone. If the vault songs had features, I love that. I think like doing kind of the same thing that she did with Speak Now, Taylor's version, where she included features that influenced her at that time where she was writing the album. I think that was genius. And I really hope she does kind of the same thing with 1989. Like, I think that would make it just all full circle.
I agree.
I just feel like the 1989 Vault is going to be its own almost like separate album of like pop perfection with like I just see it being just so like loud, but like in like colorful, and like I don't know how to explain it, but it's like I can see the vault without even hearing it. Like I don't know if that, like I know that sounds nuts.
I completely get that, and I think it's going to, because I mean, like there's rumors out there that like she had like 150 songs for 1989, and it just like cut down to 13 on the regular edition, and like that's it. And so I can't even begin to fathom what the vault is going to be. But we were talking about this last night while I was packing, and we were talking about how if she was going to release 1989 or announce 1989 TV on tour like she did for Speak Now, because at the end of the music video that she released, it had the little like I guess like street sign on like under the bridge.
That like white and red one.
Like, yes, and it said like 19 and then 89 TV, and so the 8-9 was separate, and so I think people were assuming that since the 8-9 was separate from the 19, it meant August 9th, and that's closing night of the US tour. So people were making assumptions, and I'm scared.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
But it's like, the truth is, it's like nothing is far-fetched. Like, because just when you think you have a crazy like theory or idea, she just does something even crazier. Which also is a song that we need, Crazier Taylor's version. But but yeah, it's like nothing, I feel like nothing is out of like the realm of possibility for Taylor Swift. Like I feel like she is her own entity almost, where it's like if she wants to have the best features on an album, she will. If she wants to announce a random album on like a Wednesday, she will. Like I feel like she can do whatever she wants. Like she doesn't have to follow any sort of standard rules, like nothing. So it's just, and it's so crazy too, because I was even thinking about like our podcast, and it's like we just wrapped up like our Midnight's era, which we had been since October, but then we got like You're Losing Me and Hits Different and like all these other songs, and then we get Speak Now, we're like, oh my God, this is like overload. And even just being a fan podcast, I'm like, oh my God, we're working so much. I'm like, how does
being a Swiftie is a full-time job.
It is a full-time job, and people just don't get it.
It's gonna be wild to see what she does. I mean, like I always say that like I think that Taylor is always going to do things that we can't even fathom, and like we can't even make up or guess or anything. Like I would have never guessed that she would have announced Speak Now at the Nashville show. Like I would have never fathomed that, and never like assumed. So we're in for a treat.
Right. It's always exciting.
The era's era, right? Like it's been the best era. Well, Alecksis, before you go, so like I told you earlier, we do predictions for every week, even though we have taken the last week off. We are going to do predictions for this upcoming weekend. Would you be willing to share with us your predictions for surprise songs? Where's she going to be this weekend? Denver. So yeah, Denver night 1 and Denver night 2. What do you think your predictions are? And we will add you to our little spreadsheet.
Okay. Well, I think, what does she have left? Let me look.
Let me just look at my bingo board.
Casually.
She's due for a debut song. So I'm going to guess Mary's song, because that would be very cool, because it's been an inside joke that every tour, everyone's like taking a picture outside the stadium and posting it online and being like, she's sound checking Mary's song, because he never would. It's a little inside joke that I think would be funny if it came true. So I'm going to guess song.
Okay.
Mary's song, and I'm going to guess I Know Places, because it would be very like Taylor to play a 1989 song after I go. So I'm going to guess those two for night 1. And then for night 2, I'm going to say Back to December. I think we're due for it. I think it would be really cute. And I'm dying to hear that live again, even if it's through a live stream. So I'm going to guess Back to December. And then maybe I'll guess another vault song from Speak Now, really amp up the promo. And I'm going to say Timeless, because that's the first one came to my head, and I love that song right now.
I love it.
I love it. Those are excellent predictions. Oh my gosh. Well,
Thank you so much for joining us. It was such a joy to meet with you and talk with you and hear about your experience. What an amazing night.
It was very fun. And thank you seriously for having me on. I love you guys so much. And you guys are so freaking sweet. And I was so excited for this for weeks. So thank you.
Like I've told you a million times, we adore you. And I love all of your content. I know that social media can be a dark place sometimes, but you are such a bright light, and I hope you never stop doing what you're doing. Truly, like, do not let the internet haters like keep you from being your Swiftie self. Like, honestly, I mean that wholeheartedly, because I know the internet can get nasty. So, you are wonderful, and we love you so dearly, and we cannot wait to keep up with Swiftie training with your husband.
Yes.
That needs to be a series.
You should. That's cute. Like, he needs to know the chants. He needs to know the transitions. He needs to know surprise songs. He needs to make his own predictions. We're very excited for you, and you're welcome back on the podcast anytime.
Yes.
I'm like, next week.
You're like, actually, yes, I am free.
How do I apply for the September?
Oh my gosh, you are so wonderful, Alecksis. Thank you so much. You literally got off of a plane, went home, and jumped on this call, and that is so kind of you.
Thank you.
So kind of you. Thank you so much.
Of course. I'd do it again in a heartbeat.
Yay.
Congratulations on getting married, by the way.
Oh my God, thank you. It was such like a Swiftie coded wedding. Like we did a whole episode on it. Like my first dance song was "You Are in Love."
Yes. I saw the TikTok of everyone guessing what your two songs would be, like what you would walk down the aisle to and what you would dance to, and I followed all of it.
It was so cute that they did that. I didn't know they were doing that, but it was adorable. I loved that. It was a very Swiftie coded wedding, of course. What else would you expect, right? But
what else would you do with a wedding?
It's like I literally had a wedding to prepare for Speak Now. Like I don't know what else I can do. Truly.
It was a pregame.
It was a pregame. I was joking. I was like, if it would have been 1 week later, like whenever Speak Now came out, I would have joked and said that it was like a release party.
Release party. I love that so much.
So I was 1 week away, but that's okay. I needed the time to recover before I got Speak Now.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, we love you so much, Alecksis. We hope you recover from this amazing weekend. I don't know how you'll recover from this amazing weekend, but I hope you can get back into the swing of things. And we're so excited to keep up with you on social media.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Oh, of course.
You guys have a good one.
Thank you.
You too, Alecksis.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. Subscribe for free and leave a positive review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts.